The late afternoon sun filtered through the live oaks outside Lowcountry Design Group's office, casting dappled shadows across Lauren Pierce's glass-walled office in Charleston. I sat across from her, my hands folded tightly in my lap, as she leaned back in her leather chair, her manicured nails tapping the desk with a rhythm that felt like a countdown. "Ava, you're just not the right fit for this firm anymore," she said, her voice smooth but edged with satisfaction, like she'd been rehearsing this moment. "The Battery Park project needs someone with bolder vision." The words hit like a wave against the seawall, steady but stinging. I kept my face composed, though my pulse thrummed in my ears. "The Battery Park project?" I said quietly, my voice steady despite the heat rising in my chest. "The one where my redesign of the public plaza saved the city $250,000 and preserved the historic oaks?" Lauren waved a hand, her diamond bracelet catching the light. "I presented that to the city council, Ava. It was my vision they approved." She sighed, a practiced performance of regret. "You've done good work, but you're not grasping the bigger picture. I need someone who knows their role in the hierarchy." Through the glass, I could see colleagues glancing our way, Marcus, sketching at his desk, pretending not to notice, Clara at reception, her eyes flickering with concern. I nodded slowly, a strange calm settling over me, like the quiet before a low-country storm. "I understand, Lauren," I said. "I'll clear out by Friday. But Monday will be worth watching." She rolled her eyes, her lips curling into that familiar smirk. "Always so dramatic, Ava. That's part of the problem." "I'm Ava Caldwell, 48, Senior Project Coordinator at Lowcountry Design Group. For 7 years, I've poured my heart into designing spaces that marry Charleston's history with its future, public parks that withstand hurricanes, community centers that feel like home. I grew up in Savannah, watching my father shape wood into furniture that told stories of resilience. After my mother passed when I was 16, I learned to carry that resilience myself, raising my son, Lucas, alone after a divorce that left me questioning my worth. Architecture became my refuge, a way to build something lasting in a world that felt unsteady. But Lauren Pierce, our creative director, has spent years claiming my designs as her own, her ambition carving a path through my work like a river eroding its banks. Today, she decided I'm no longer useful. She thinks she's won. But she doesn't know the storm that's coming. The walk back to my desk felt like wading through marsh mud, each step heavy with the weight of Lauren's words. The office's open-plan layout, with its exposed brick and views of Charleston's harbor, usually lifted my spirits. Today, it mocked me. I passed the gallery wall, where framed photos of our projects gleamed under soft lighting, the Battery Park Plaza, its cobblestone paths my idea, the Ashley River Community Center, my sustainable materials saving the budget. Each plaque bore Lauren's name as lead designer, my contributions erased like footprints in wet sand. My phone buzzed as I sat down. A text from Marcus, our senior architect. "How'd it go?" Lauren looked smug as ever. I typed back, fingers trembling. "She's firing me. Says I lack vision." His reply came fast. "That's nonsense. Your marsh restoration design just won the state award." I stared at the screen, the irony sharp. "Her marsh restoration design, according to the press," I wrote. I unlocked my desk drawer, pulling out the small external hard drive I'd started keeping 6 months ago when Lauren's oversights turned into outright theft. It held everything: original sketches, email threads where I pitched concepts, timestamps proving my work predated her claims. Insurance, I'd told myself, against a day like this. My desk phone rang, Clara's voice on the line. "Ava, someone from Palmetto Designs is in the lobby. Says it's about a consultation you did for them." My heart sank like a stone in the Cooper River. I'd never worked with Palmetto Designs, our biggest rival in Charleston. "I'll be right down," I said, my mouth dry. In the elevator, my reflection stared back, tired eyes, graying strands in my dark hair, a woman who'd spent 25 years building spaces that lasted, only to have her own foundation shaken. I started as a drafting assistant in Savannah, sketching floor plans while Lucas napped in a bassinet beside me. After my divorce, I moved us to Charleston, drawn to Lowcountry's promise of creative freedom. For years, I thrived, designing spaces that could weather storms, just as I had. Then Lauren arrived, her charm and connections propelling her to creative director in record time. At first, I mistook her interest in my work for camaraderie. Now, I saw it for what it was, a calculated harvest. The lobby smelled of magnolia from a vase on Clara's desk, but the air felt thick with unease as I approached the man waiting for me. He was in his 50s, gray suit crisp against the Lowcountry's humid backdrop. "Miss Caldwell, I'm Thomas Reed from Palmetto Designs," he said, shaking my hand. "Thanks for meeting me about the Charleston Harbor project." "There's been a misunderstanding," I said, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. "I've never consulted for your firm." His brow creased, and he pulled out a tablet. "That's odd. Lauren Pierce shared preliminary designs for the harbor revitalization last month, credited to you as a consultant." He swiped to a rendering, my rendering. Elevated walkways weaving through historic warehouses, green spaces that adapted to tidal surges. My personal sketches, drawn late at night when Lucas was studying for his finals, never meant for anyone's eyes but mine. "May I see those?" I asked, my pulse quickening. The designs were mine, but altered slightly enough to disguise their origin, not enough to erase my vision. "These were presented as a collaboration?" I pressed. "Yes," Thomas said. "We've incorporated them into our proposal for the city." The Harbor Commission was impressed. He paused, studying me. "Is something wrong?" "I need to verify something with my office," I said, excusing myself. In the restroom, I gripped the sink, the cool porcelain grounding me as the truth crashed in. Lauren hadn't just stolen my work for Lowcountry, she'd sold my ideas to our competitors. The betrayal cut deeper than I'd imagined, like salt in a wound I'd ignored too long. My mind raced back to late nights at my desk, sketching while the office slept, thinking those ideas were safe. Lauren must have accessed my computer, maybe when I stepped away for coffee. Now, she was using my termination to bury her tracks. My phone buzzed, a meeting alert. All staff, 3 p.m., special announcement. Back at my desk, Marcus leaned over, voice low. "William's coming in. Word is, it's about a partnership with Palmetto Designs. Based on your harbor designs." "My designs," I said, the words bitter. "Lauren's claiming them for her promotion to executive director." The conference room buzzed with anticipation as colleagues filed in for the 3 p.m. meeting. I took a seat near the back, ignoring the whispers and sidelong glances. Lauren stood at the front beside William Hayes, her tailored blazer as sharp as her ambition. William, his face lined with fatigue, cleared his throat. "Today, we announce a transformative partnership with Palmetto Designs for the Charleston Harbor revitalization." On the screen behind him flashed my designs, my walkways, my green spaces, now branded with both firms' logos. My chest tightened, each slide a theft displayed in high definition. "This collaboration, led by Lauren Pierce," William continued, "showcases the innovative vision that defines Lowcountry design." Lauren stepped forward, her smile radiant. "Thank you, William. This project reflects our commitment to sustainable urban renewal." She clicked through my sketches, describing concepts I'd honed over sleepless nights as if they'd sparked in her mind. Each word twisted the knife deeper. William raised a hand. "I'm thrilled to name Lauren our new executive director, effective immediately." Applause erupted, but I sat frozen, my hands gripping the arms of my chair. Lauren's eyes met mine briefly, a glint of triumph in them. As the room emptied, I approached William. "Can we discuss the harbor project privately?" I asked. "Of course, Ava," he said, but Lauren intercepted, her voice smooth. "William, we need to finalize the transition plan for my role." "And didn't you have that call with the board at 3:30? "Right," William said, checking his watch. "Ava, can this wait?" "It's about the design's origins," I said firmly. Lauren's smile tightened. "Actually, William, I've been meaning to address some concerns about Ava's performance, project ownership issues, missed deadlines." William frowned, looking between us. "Let's settle this now," he said, ushering us to his office. For 20 minutes, Lauren spun a web of lies, doctored timelines, fabricated performance reviews, even suggesting I'd stolen her harbor concepts. My evidence, the hard drive in my bag, felt heavy with possibility, but I held back. Lauren's influence ran deep, and I needed the right moment. William's office smelled of old books and sea air, a contrast to the storm brewing inside me. Lauren sat across from me, her posture perfect, her voice measured as she laid out her case. Ava's struggled with deadlines, she said, sliding a folder toward William. And there's evidence she accessed my files, claiming my harbor designs as hers. That's a lie, I snapped, my restraint fraying. I have proof those designs are mine. William raised a hand. This isn't helping. Lauren's documented her concerns thoroughly. Given the partnership with Palmetto Designs, we're accelerating your departure, Ava. Clear your desk today. I stared at the separation agreement he pushed toward me, 2 months severance for my silence. Rage and disbelief churned in my gut. You're firing me without investigating her claims? William's expression hardened. We have records of performance issues. Fighting this could ruin your reputation. I took the folder, my hands steady despite the tremor in my heart. I understand, I said quietly. Lauren's sympathetic smile was a blade thinly veiled. Back at my desk, I packed methodically family photos, a sketchbook from Lucas, the hard drive with my evidence. Clara hugged me at reception, whispering, "We know the truth, Ava." Her words were a small anchor in the chaos. At home, I poured a glass of sweet tea and opened my laptop, backing up my files to a secure cloud. My phone buzzed with texts from Marcus. Lauren's telling everyone you stole her designs. I felt sick. She wasn't just erasing my work, she was rewriting my legacy. Then an email from an unknown address, Charleston Harbor Project, confidential. It detailed budgets, timelines, and a note. This isn't right. A friend. I hesitated. Forwarding it could trap me in Lauren's narrative of betrayal. I closed my laptop, my mind racing. 25 years of building spaces, raising Lucas through sleepless nights, only to have my career dismantled by someone who saw my work as a stepping stone. But the hard drive in my bag held the truth, and I wasn't done fighting. The next morning, I woke to the sound of gulls outside my Charleston apartment, their cries a reminder of the harbor that had become my battleground. My phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. Lauren's claiming you leaked designs to Palmetto. People are buying it. The words landed like a punch. Lauren wasn't just stealing my work, she was painting me as a traitor to ensure my silence. I sat at my kitchen table, the separation agreement glaring up at me. Signing it meant admitting defeat, agreeing to a lie that I was incompetent. I shoved it aside and opened my laptop, digging through old emails. 3 years ago, Lauren had written, "Ava, your marsh restoration concept is brilliant. Can you refine this project?" Her words, clear as the low-country sky, confirmed my authorship. It was a crack in her armor. Then, an email from William. "Ava, urgent developments with the harbor project. Can we meet this morning?" My heart leapt. Maybe someone had seen through Lauren's facade. I agreed to meet at a coffee shop on King Street, the scent of magnolia and espresso grounding me as I waited. William arrived, looking older than his 65 years, his eyes heavy with worry. Portland officials, Charleston officials, asked about the harbor designs, he said, correcting himself. They want to feature the designer's process in their campaign. Lauren couldn't answer their technical questions. I leaned forward, hope flickering. What did she say? She claimed you mentored her, William said, grimacing. But an official recognized your style from the Marsh project. They asked about you specifically. I laughed, bitter and sharp. Mentored her? She's been stealing my work for years. I'm starting to see that, William admitted. But Lauren says you took the original files when you left. She's lying, I said, my voice firm. I have those files, with proof they're mine. William's eyes narrowed. The firm's reputation is at stake, Ava. We need to resolve this quietly. Then reinstate me, I said. Clear my name, remove Lauren from my projects, and let me present to the city. He hesitated, and I knew the fight was far from over. The coffee shop's hum faded as William left, his promise to consult the board ringing hollow. I sipped my coffee, the bitterness mirroring my mood. My phone buzzed, a news alert. Palmetto Designs withdraws from Charleston Harbor Partnership. The headline sent a jolt through me. Lauren's house of cards was wobbling. Another email arrived from Thomas Reed at Palmetto Designs. Charleston officials seek clarification on harbor design authorship. Your input would be valued. A second email from a city planner asked detailed questions about the sustainable elements in my designs. The tide was turning, and Lauren's inability to explain my work was her undoing. I spent the evening preparing, my apartment a war room of documents and determination. The hard drive held my truth, sketches with timestamps, emails where Lauren praised my work, client testimonials. Lucas stopped by, his eyes searching mine. "Mom, you're fighting, right? You can't let her win." His words stirred memories of Savannah summers, rebuilding after storms, teaching me resilience. "I'm fighting," I promised, my voice thick. "For both of us." Tuesday morning, I dressed in a navy blazer, my mother's pearl earrings a quiet talisman. The hard drive and printed documents went into my bag. At Lowcountry's office, the conference room was a battlefield, William and 2 board members at the head, city officials and Palmetto representatives on one side, Lauren alone on the other, her confidence fraying. William opened the meeting. "We're here to clarify the harbor project's design authorship." Lauren jumped in, her voice tight. "I'm disappointed by this confusion." Ava provided minor feedback, but the concepts were mine. I stood, connecting my laptop to the projector. "Let me show you," I said, my voice steady as the Ashley River. For 20 minutes, I laid out my evidence. Design files predating Lauren's claims, emails where she acknowledged my work, metadata verified by Palmetto's team. The room was silent, the air heavy with truth. A city official spoke. "These are the details we needed. Ms. Pierce couldn't provide them." Lauren's face paled. "She's faking those timestamps. She's jealous of my promotion." William cut her off. "Our IT confirmed unauthorized access to Ava's computer. Lauren, it's time to go." Lauren's exit was swift, her heels clicking down the hall as security escorted her out. The conference room exhaled, the tension breaking like a summer storm clearing the air. I stood by the projector, my evidence still glowing on the screen, each file a piece of my reclaimed legacy. The city officials nodded, murmuring approval, while Palmetto's Thomas Reed offered a respectful smile. William cleared his throat, his voice heavy. "Ava, we've made a grave error. Effective immediately, you're reinstated as executive director. We'd like you to lead the harbor project." I met his gaze, my emotions a tangle of triumph and lingering hurt. "And my record?" "The false claims about my performance." "Cleared," he said. "We'll issue a company-wide statement crediting your contributions to our major projects." The board members agreed, their faces a mix of relief and embarrassment. A city official spoke up. "Ms. Caldwell, we'd like you to present your vision to the Harbor Commission directly." I nodded, my heart swelling. I'd be honored. Back at my desk, Clara slipped me a note. "You did it." Marcus clapped my shoulder, his grin wide. "You had it in you, Ava." Their support warmed me, but the weight of 7 years, my work buried under Lauren's name, still lingered. I thought of Lucas, his pride in me, and my father, who'd taught me to build things that last. This victory wasn't just mine, it was theirs too. That evening, I walked along the battery, the harbor's saltwater breeze carrying the promise of new beginnings. My designs would shape Charleston's future, not as a shadow but as the lead. Lauren's downfall spread quickly. 3 other designers came forward, their stories echoing mine. Her name became a warning in Charleston's tight-knit architecture world, her career unraveling like a poorly laid foundation. At home, I opened my laptop, drafting protocols for design attribution to protect others from what I'd endured. The fight had changed me, sharpening my resolve to mentor, to build not just spaces, but people. I was no longer the woman who stayed silent. A month later, I stood before the Charleston Harbor Commission, the room packed with city planners and community leaders. Behind me, my refined harbor designs glowed on the screen, walkways that preserved historic warehouses, green spaces that danced with the tides. My voice, once hesitant, carried the confidence of truth. These designs balance Charleston's past with its future, I said, using sustainable materials to withstand our storms. The commission applauded, their questions technical and engaged. I answered each one, drawing on years of late nights and hard-won expertise. The project was greenlit, with Low Country and Palmetto Designs collaborating under my direction, every contributor credited fairly. Back at the office, I settled into my role as executive director, a title that felt like a home I'd built myself. I mentored Clara, encouraging her to pursue her design dreams, and worked with Marcus to refine our processes. William, chastened by the ordeal, gave me free rein to reshape the firm's culture. I established clear attribution guidelines, ensuring no one's work would be stolen again. One evening, Lucas joined me for dinner at a waterfront restaurant, the harbor lights reflecting in his eyes. "You fought for yourself, Mom," he said, his voice proud. Was it worth it, all those years in someone else's shadow? I thought of Lauren's dismissal, her smug certainty that I'd fade quietly. I thought of my father, shaping wood with care, and my mother, whose laughter still echoed in my designs. "No," I said, smiling. "But standing in the light now? That's worth everything." The harbor project moved forward, my name on the plaques, my vision shaping Charleston's skyline. I'd spent years building for others, but this fight had built something new in me, a belief that my work, my voice, deserved to be heard. As I walked home under the live oaks, their branches swaying in the breeze, I felt rooted, not just in the city, but in myself. The Charleston harbor sparkled under the morning sun as I walked its edge, sketching new ideas in my notebook. The waterfront project was thriving, each phase a testament to the designs I'd fought to reclaim. At Low Country Design Group, I'd become more than a director. I was a mentor, guiding young designers like Clara to trust their voices. The firm's culture had shifted, attribution protocols now woven into every project, ensuring credit where it was due. Sometimes, I'd pass the Battery Park Plaza, its oaks standing tall because of my redesign. I'd think of Lauren, now a footnote in the industry, her ambition undone by her own deceit. I didn't hate her. I pitied her, a woman who built a career on stolen foundations, only to watch it crumble. My pity was fleeting, though. My focus was on Lucas, who'd started his own career, inspired by my fight and on the spaces I'd yet to build. One evening, as I sat on my porch, the scent of jasmine wrapping around me, I opened my laptop to an email from a young designer. She'd read about my story in an architectural journal and asked for advice on claiming her work. I wrote back, my words steady, document everything. Trust your talent. And never let anyone dim your light. It was the advice I wish I'd had years ago, when I'd let Lauren's shadow fall over me. The fight had been brutal, but it carved a path to a truth I hadn't known I needed. I was enough. My designs, my resilience, my heart, they'd reshaped Charleston and me. As the sun set, painting the sky in pinks and golds, I felt a quiet pride, like the tide settling after a storm. To everyone who's followed this journey, thank you. You've walked with me through betrayal, battles, and hard-won triumphs. If my story stirred something in you, share it, join me, and keep building your own truth. Every design, every fight, tells a story of heart and new beginnings. I'll meet you at the drawing table.